Okay, we'll go ahead and start class. Got a text from 2 or 3 people, Courtney, Amber, they're live streaming. 3 different people. One I think I had on the roster, I got an email from. Of course, I mentioned about the book next week. I think one student took me serious. He said he was going to drop because he couldn't get a book. It's still up to you. I don't think anybody drop. You would hang on and do it. And I'm trying to give you all kinds of outlets, get my mind, all kinds of second test stuff and so forth. And I did put a deadline. I've got to put a deadline on the senior. Today was the deadline for chapter 1. Whether you have a book or not, you might have to run on our free trial and answer something. Or get to look up the library. It's on the server. All right, and to repeat for those live streams, they hear me, they text me, they will verify. I have to tell them the same thing through a text or an email. Yes, Cengage chapter 1 is due today. Yes, Cengage chapter 2 is due by Friday. And yes, Cengage chapter 3 is due by next Tuesday. And next Tuesday is test day. Okay? Chapter 1, 2, 3. Haven't made the test yet, but what I'm doing, I'll tell you Thursday, pretty much what's on. I've told you a good thing. Where's your buddy at today?
I just texted him to see where I hadn't heard a receipt from him.
What?
I hadn't heard a receipt from him since Thursday.
Okay. Okay, Amber is live streaming. Walker. Right. All right. And Robert.
I'm here.
Alexandra. Here. Say. Matthew. He live streams. Okay. D-I-O-U-N. D-I-O-U-N. License. Alexandra Fanny. Justin Fox. Fox. Marco. All right. One student. Robert. Robert Harris. Ryan. Dylan. Harper. Oh. Go. Okay, Jill. Johnny. Jeffrey. Sam's. Sam's is never sure. Cleveland. Country. Coordination. Live stream. Kinley. Williams. Jacob. Yes. Joshua. Corey. His name that I don't call. Could be late. I'll get you, Robert Harris.
Hey, Ron's coming. His class is let out. They let out late.
Somebody kept him late, knowing he has a long way to
Manufacturing
come.
process.
Oh, that happens.
So he's coming from Dickinson. He'll probably be.
He'll be here. Okay, I'm a little hoarse this morning. I guess allergies, sinuses, what have you, but we'll make it. Chapter 1, the big thing was the 3 statements. And we kind of equate, we practice both of those. Now, how many of you got over 90% on chapter 1? Over 90%. Okay, that's good. Okay, about half of it. How many of you have finished with chapter 2? Okay, just 4 of you. I guess that was a yes back there, wasn't it, Kelly? Okay. But anyway, so chapter 2, try to have that done by Friday. Now, chapter 2 introduces the debits and credits, journal entry, and the trial balance. We practice the trial balance, we practice the journal entry. Now we've jumped into chapter 3. All right. Now, I told up here in 79, I covered the textbook. We covered 14 chapters a semester. I cut that down to 10. I can't cut it down anymore. So I weeded out chapters that might not be as necessary, or you might get another part. So we have to go 10. We'll finish up 3 chapters this week. And this is the 4th week. 4 over 15 is about 4, better than 4 of the class. So, all right, just to review a little bit, these were some those PE problems, and it does have the 4 adjusted entries here: the unearned revenue, the accrued expense, and the prepaid expense. And then there was depreciation made 5. Okay. And I don't know what those questions was, it doesn't matter. But looking at some of these other little exercises in the PE problems, like 3A up there. All right, on 3A, code, how about that? What was that adjusted entry for? What was that adjusted entry for?
You want 3A?
Yeah, 3A. What do you think that was for? Just an entry at the end of the month. Okay, now Cole, what this looks like, somebody owes us money, and we've earned it. And we're gonna debit account receivable. That was the adjusted entry. They owe us money, we debit account receivable, and credit fees earned. Okay. All right, Robert, how about this one? What happened? 3B.
I mean, isn't it the same thing? Somebody owed us money and we just took it and then we put it.
Same thing, exactly the same thing. And Alexandra, first Alexandra, what happened here on 4A?
Looks like salaries might have carried over past the accounting period. So it's in
Yeah,
there.
past the accounting period is exactly right. Yeah, right. And also payday, if you want to call it that. We owe these workers, I don't know what this was for a 6-day week or whatever, so much a day, then multiply it by 5 days. So we owe them for 5 days, 23,000, but it's an expense. Let's say in 2018, it's an expense in 2018. Now they won't get paid maybe to 2019, but we owe it to them. Say, what would you say about this one? Somebody help?
Somebody owes us rent.
Well, they don't owe us rent, or we put rent receivable.
They've given future months rent. But they haven't stayed there.
All right? You're right about most of it. They paid it in advance, and they hadn't earned it yet. But if you'd have went on, they have earned 7 months of it. They prepaid it for 12 months, divide the total amount by 12. So now they have earned 11,000, so credit rent revenue. We're going to practice some of those today. Okay, the other Alexandra, what do you think happened here in 6A? What do you think happened in 6A? Somebody help me, anybody?
We used up some of our insurance.
What?
We used up some of our insurance.
All right, we prepaid insurance. You prepay yours. Maybe somebody paid a year in advance or 6 months in advance. Now, to the other company, what is prepaid by one company is unearned by the other company. What's accounts receivable to one company is accounts payable to the other company. All right, the other company, the insurance company, would have debited unearned insurance fees. Then they would credit insurance revenue. But now the person paying for the insurance has debit prepaid insurance. I don't know where they're getting these amounts from. I'd have to read it. But the insurance expired. I guess this was in the account. They bought this much more. They still had this much left. So debit insurance expense and credit prepaid. Reverse of a prepaid is unearned. Reverse of salaries payable would be salaries receivable. All right, what happened? Ryan, what happened in this entry?
We took inventory of our supplies. We realized that we originally had $37.75, but we debited some for $64.50, subtracting the $29.80. We realized that we had spent $68.45, so we had to credit that out of supplies and debit supplies expenses.
All right, this was your beginning supplies and you bought some more. So this was the total supplies available. You went out and counted and found out you had $29.80. And that's your entry for your supplies expense. All right, one last entry there. Kelly, what do you think? What happened here, Kelly? In exercise 7A. What? All right, this is one expense that we don't pay money out for. That'll come back later on a cash flow statement. We don't pay money out for depreciation. We've already bought the equipment.
You know,
What?
it's not worth like what we paid for it, I guess.
Right. Wear and tear if we're using it or becoming obsolete, what have you. I got a little T99 computer at home. It's an antique now. It's 1000% obsolete. Okay. I had to program it myself on cassette tape using basic language. I don't even know if basic's used anymore or not. What kind of language do you all use in engineering? You use a computer language?
We use C++.
C++? All those languages came about. There just used to be a couple when I was in college. Fortran, and one of them was business, one of them was scientific. And those involved with all kinds of languages. And C++, is there a Visual Basic?
We do that for a semester, just for minor things. this is what we get into, this, fundamentals of digital.
It's like a binary, a hexadecimal, optical number systems.
The binaries were all computers started from. That was binaries what they used. What's that? 010110?
Yes.
Something like that. I don't know. You all have to write a language. You have to learn a
I'm
language.
gonna take a coding class. Programming.
But now the computers I had in college, a whole room full of equipment. There's this room, you can do the same thing on your cell phone now. Okay, and more on your cell phone. My cell phone is sensitive. I've got a lot of contacts in there. I can just pick it up and it will call somebody. And I do all kinds of what's called butt call. Okay? I have to turn that off before I leave it anywhere or put it in my pocket or whatever. All right, this is just a review of some of the adjusted entries we were going to have. All right, now, did I ask you to do a problem or exercise in chapter 3 for today? Besides Cengage. It's okay if I didn't. Cengage is more important than anything else that I give you, but I will be adding on. I'm not going to go over the PowerPoint again. I'm going to use this period for practice. All right, we went over the trial balance. And when you do this, the end of the period work. And you see, we make entries every day for salaries expense, maybe rent expense, utilities. We have expenses every day in business. But there are certain expenses we don't record to the end of the period. And insurance, supplies, depreciation might be 3 of those expenses, or if we owe wages or taxes. So at the end of the period, we call these adjustments because we're on the accrual basis of accounting. And then we can do an adjusted trial balance. And once you can do an adjusted trial balance, now if you learn this chapter 3, it makes chapter 4 real simple. All right, let's go over to page. I don't like those entries. Let's see. Go over to page 148. The first one we'll do is problem 3-1A. 3-1A. We'll do that in class today. It may be on Cengage. Some of these problems. All right. And if you want to jot these down, you can take plain white paper. I didn't run off any more journal paper. All right. Now I want you to go ahead and write that first one down. The supplies account balance is $1,375. The supplies on hand are $280. See if you can make an adjusted entry for that first entry on problem 1. That's page 148, I guess. Be careful with words like expired or unexpired. Expired means you did use it. this is what you had left, right?
Right.
So subtract that one from this one, find out how much you use.
Right.
Just subtract.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you know, above the bottom. At the bottom, that's the 700. It's 3-1 and then 3-2.
Come on, sure, so, say.
I got it, I already took a picture.
Look at him, okay.
All right, so I subtracted, right, I got 1,005, so in my 2 years, we came to 81,000.
Supplies.
Yeah.
4 months of advance, so
Okay.
we only, for this year, we only done 22.
All right, some of you need a lot of practice, but here is the entry. Hopefully we can practice today and Thursday. All right, you had so much supplies, you had so much land. So you want to debit supplies expense or credit supplies. Now, when you post this, it will leave you a balance of what, say 280? It'll leave you that balance once you post. Well, your expense for the month is 1,095. It's just like we have a room full of supplies downstairs, pens, clips, staplers. I don't know if our secretary takes an inventory at the end of the month or not to see what she used. I don't know, but she should. All right, proceed to the next one.
Will you scroll down just more so I can see if that's right? Can you scroll down one more? So that is
Margot, they did put an explanation, supplies used. All right, Jacob, what we're gonna do about that next one?
We're gonna put unearned rent, 9,000 debit, and then rent revenue is 9,000 credit.
All right, 9,000?
Oh, wait, hold on, I may have read it. Oh, 4 months, so
9,000 for 4 months, so divide and get what, 2,100, 250? All right, 2,000, okay. For 1 month. Now, Jacob, what'd you say your debit
uh,
and credit,
revenue.
right? Okay, for 2,250, 1 month, we have earned 1 month of rent. All right, that one ought to be easy. They just gave you the amount. Wages accrued, 3220. Debit what? Wage expense and credit what?
Lease payable.
Right. All right, that would ought to be easy. You just see the amount, you put it down. Right, that one should be pretty easy too. Fees earned but not billed. Now you want to bill them. When you're billing fees, what do you debit? Accounts receivable and credit.
User.
All right, debit accounts receivable and credit fees earned. And how about the last one, depreciation,
Accumulated depreciation.
credit,
Credit. Equipment.
no, depreciation expense. It's not showing up good here, but depreciation expense debit, credit accumulated depreciation, comma, or dash, office equipment to show what that depreciation's on. Because you may have accumulated depreciation building, accumulated depreciation truck, what have you, okay? That's the 5 kind of entries, okay? First one was a prepaid item. insurance is usually prepaid item. Here was, the unearned rent. Here was your accrued expense, your accrued, revenue, and your appreciation. You got all five interests there. All five categories. All right, we're gonna get better at this. Some of you are doing okay right there. Thought I had some of the exercise there, but I don't. All right, let's go down to 2A, down to 2A. Now, be careful of the terms. If it says expired, that is your expense. You don't have to subtract. But if it says unexpired, if you had 10,000 prepaid insurance and it said unexpired 7,000, you gotta subtract, find out how much is expired. So, and the fees earned, be careful of that. Sometimes it will say unearned fees, sometimes it will say fees earned. So be careful when you have to subtract and when you don't. So let's look at, number 2A, same page. And you've got some accounts already listed there. You got your balance in your supplies and your equipment and so forth. Now, we go on down here, there's, I guess, 6 bullets there or 6 adjusting entries. So let's jot these down. On bill fees at July. I want you to see these in different forms. Jot down an entry for on bill fees at July 31. So, I know you're gonna do about this first.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Bill.
I thought you had to do it first.
That's what you're doing.
Oh.
The other accounts receivable. Yeah, you're on the bill, the other accounts receivable.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a fee. How about the proof? You want to bill somebody. Well, you always did bill somebody. Oh.
Yes. It's the same thing as this. Okay, so
So we need to pause expense. And that we for 24. This is our red expense, it's 32.25. So. So what we. 39.
Right. Still be a loss.
That's the way. Also.
Which one? All right, last one. When it says when it expired, right? You subtract it.
No, you subtract it.
You already gave it to you.
You already gave it. That's 6 feet.
Okay, so rent expenses, we pay rent.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Good stuff.
Got you.
Good.
But get the take.
Good bring it there.
So.
Okay, I'll show you the first 3 on this one. All right, of course, accounts receivable, you bill, supplies used, and of course, prepaid rent. They told you the rent that had expired. They told you the 6, so you didn't have to subtract. So be careful of the expired and unexpired. Supplies, be careful of what's on hand and what's used. All right, you should have the next one. Debit what? Direct expense and credit what?
Accumulated depreciation.
All right. Now, what are you gonna do about that next one, unearned fees? You're gonna, but are you gonna subtract or you gonna take the 2,000 or are you gonna subtract? Read it carefully. Are you gonna subtract or just take it as it is? Now think about it. Unearned fees, your balance is 2,000 in unearned. How much do you have in unearned now? Looks like 12,000, right?
Yeah.
So how much of that 12,000 did you earn? 10,000. You do have to subtract.
Alright, so your account is. So you use 10,000 instead of 2.
10,000. Be careful with unearned, earned, expired, unexpired, used, unused.
So what's the 2 accounts then? It's not accounts receivable anymore, is it?
No, no, no.
It's under fees, fees earned, gotcha.
Make sure you understand why it is 10,000. All right. Now look at the first one up here. That's fees earned. Have you got that money yet? Have you got the money up here yet?
Fees earned, yeah, no. Sure,
What did you debit?
accounts receivable.
Because they owe it to you, right?
Yeah,
Okay, but down here's also fees earned. So you already have this money and you haven't earned it. But we earned 10,000 on it. Lawyers take their fees in advance many times. I don't care if it's divorce or some kind of accident or land suit or whatever, they take their money in advance. They may earn a third of it at the end of 1 month, another third at the end of another month. Finally, they earn it all after 3 months, maybe it's settled in court. They take a lot of unearned. And the last one, debit what? And credit what? That's not showing up good. Go back and look at this one on prepaid. Besides automobile insurance, do y'all prepay anything else in advance? Do you pay your tuition in advance?
yes.
And after so many days, you can get back what, 50%? For all of it? Can you get back 50% after so many days? Then after so many more days, you get none back, right?
You can still get up to, I think, 25%.
25% before the drop date. But you pay tuition in advance. All right? Sometimes you buy season ball tickets to Virginia Tech or West Virginia U in advance. All right? And use them up 1 game at a time. So how about West Virginia U? They've got a lot of unearned revenue. Now, you are too young to remember Marshall, but you may have heard about it. They got a monument on campus. Was it the whole basketball team who got killed in a plane crash? Was it football? Now, if you had tickets there, you could prepay for tickets. They had to cancel all their games, didn't they? And they had to refund. That's why unearned is a liability to be earned. So these college teams have to earn 1 game at a time. Okay. Some of you may buy meal tickets in advance. Okay? All right, any question about any of these entries? I want you to start getting comfortable with just making them. Okay? I'm gonna show you another problem, but we're not going to work it. 3A is still a good problem to work, but look at 4A. Now, 4A leads up to chapter 4, which I'm not going to talk much about because test is on the first 3 chapters. Now, in chapter 4, you'll have a 10-column worksheet. And you start off with adjusted trial balance, and then you go to the adjustments, then the adjusted trial balance. Now, this would help you put everything in order. So we're going to take a sneak peek at those particular pages, if I can find them quick enough. I don't know if it's the right pages that I want or not. Let you know in a minute. All right, yeah, I want you to turn to page 190 for a second. All right, this is a 10-column worksheet because it has 10 columns. All right, now have you seen an unadjusted trial balance before in chapter 2? You have, haven't you? Now, the next 2 columns are adjustments. That's what we're practicing in chapter 3. And then the next 2 columns is the adjusted trial balance, which is also in chapter 3. Now look at page 191. What is that adjusted entry A? Here you'll put them on a worksheet, then you'll write the entry. Somebody look at that entry A. What did you debit? What did you credit? That's an adjusted entry. See the debit, what's the credit? Margo, how about that one? I haven't picked on you this morning. Now, Margo, stay with me. Page 191, right?
Credit is fees earned.
All right, what's your debit?
For A, accounts receivable.
For every debit you have to have. Okay, look at it. A, you debit accounts receivable and your credit fees earned. That's an adjusted entry.
So for B, we debited wages.
So look at B, yes. You debit what?
Wage expense.
All right, and credit what?
Wage
Which
payment.
fail.
Exactly. Then look at C. What'd you debit for C? Unearned rent. And your credit rent revenue, right? So your adjusted entry will go here. Now turn another page. Now you've got an adjusted trial balance that was supposed to be practiced in chapter 3. Now I want you to look at accounts receivable. The balance of 2720.
You added that 500 from the adjusted.
You added 2 debits, didn't you? Add 2 debits. All right. But look at supplies.
Subtracted it, but you credited it in B.
Subtract the credit from a debit, right? That left you 780. That's what you counted. Then if we get down to fees earned, fees earned, what did you do? Add 2 credits. So you can only add 2 debits, or you're going to add 2 credits, Or if it's a debit and a credit, you take the difference. That gives you an adjusted trial balance. Now flip a page. Now look at columns 7 and 8. What do you think you could make from those numbers? What statement can you make from those numbers?
Income statement.
That's what it is, the income statement. This worksheet is not an official accounting statement, but it helps you see how things go in order. And you can do a balance sheet for what goes on the balance sheet. Now, what did we put on the income statement? Revenue and what? Expenses. What we put on the balance sheet? All right. Assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Drawing, the net income goes on a capital statement. Okay. Look at the next page, page 195. We're ahead of ourselves here, but it may help you understand the adjusted trial balance back in chapter 3. Now look at your income statement balance sheet. Whatever your net income is, 7105, it helps your balance sheet columns to match. All right. Now you have to do the statements. Can't find them here. All right. Your second test, and I'm going to count double, is going to be one problem. It's going to be this problem, one like it. You're going to complete that worksheet. You're going to write down the adjusted entries. You're going to do the income statement, balance sheet, owner's equity. Excuse me. Also in chapter 4 is closing entries. All right, so that's a peep ahead, and that's what we must look forward to, I guess. And once you get through chapter 4, you have completed the accounting cycle. I want you to look at problem 4. Problem 4, page 150. Now, what goes between the unadjusted trial balance and the adjusted trial balance? What goes between? I showed you in the future there the adjustment. So I want each of you just to make me 2 adjusted entries, any 2 you want from what you see there. Any 2 adjusted entries.
Four A or 5A?
4A. 4A. There is no adjustment to cash. You know, we may have an adjustment to accounts receivable, but we didn't, did we? Supplies, we have an adjustment. Depreciation, we probably have an adjustment. Excuse me. I know you can find two, there's probably about five, there's five. Okay, anybody find the accounts receivable? Alexander Fanning, have you found one yet? What have you got?
Supplies expense debit for 8850 and supplies credit for 88.
Whoops, the amount. Look at the amount.
8,800.
All right, no, that's 3A, isn't it? Well, they may be right, let's see. You got 8,850, didn't you? All right, but that is on those two statements. It's just another way to look and try to pick out the adjusted entry. So I'm not going to hold you to all those. Anybody got one different from supplies?
Service fees, debit of 9,000, unearned service fee, or unearned service fee, credit of 9,000.
All right. $5,000 or 9,000?
9,000.
It's 9. You read it wrong, I think. Let's see.
18 minus 9,000. Oh.
Well, yeah, you had 18, you got 9 left. That means you used 9. You couldn't miss that one, even if you got the wrong 9. You got it right. There were 7 or 8 of those. I was looking at problem 3. You have a prepaid insurance on there, 2 depreciations. There you had utility expense. You haven't paid your electric bill, so that's an accrual. You credit accounts payable or utilities payable. You got an accrued salary there, and then you had the unearned. All right, I want you to try problem 5A for Thursday. Try to have that one ready for class Thursday. But do Cengage first. Cengage comes first. Try to have chapter 2 done on Cengage before you attempt this problem. All right? So I'm gonna let you go early today. All I'm doing is coughing anyway.
So I have, so I have chapter 2 due before Thursday and have chapter 3 due before Tuesday.
Yeah. You got chapter 2.
I got it at 91. Well, I'm gonna at least try to get it through, 5 days. 9.1. Because on chapter 3, I'm gonna get 92.86.
Stop the time.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out how many times it's
Oh, yeah, I was reading chapter 24, I think it was, about power generation. With like how you have to use for your main service, a coal or oil based one. Then your adjustable one has to be like hydroelectric, and the other ones that are the emergency ones. A lot of that is something to do with solar. This could be sick.
I actually look at my log, just to learn. Just come in. Yeah.
About the switch.
Johnny?
When I bought the school gauge, the version, the digital version of the case.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Some of them.
You don't think ours is?
I think if you get the premium version, I think it's maybe $40. Maybe $40.
Oh, that ain't too bad.
Still better than 208 for postal.
Well, when I bought mine for whatever price I paid, it came with the actual textbook and the set unit. I bought it.
Where
Amazon.
you pay about 200.
I think I only paid $120
That'd be a deal.
because I paid $500 for my textbooks this semester, and Dr. Bolton's book costs $250.
Well, you can shop around, but shop around, Johnny, and try Amazon, see if they're cheaper.
All right, I know that the chapters will. Check that book out.
Yeah,